Hello and welcome to another episode of Escape from Mount Backlog. Today, for Gifted Games Month, we'll be looking at Wolfenstein The Old Blood, developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda in 2015. Here's the thing about Wolfenstein The Old Blood. It should have been DLC, and not a standalone product, at least initially. It would have been considered a really meaty piece of DLC. The first 1 to 2 odd hours of the campaign, in which you infiltrate Castle Wolfenstein, get caught and have to escape, could have been considered an episode in a DLC story, much like how Machine Games is handling the DLC for the new Colossus, which again is absolutely fantastic. Go check out my review of that one, link in the description. The scope of the DLC kept expanding, to where it made sense to both Machine Games and Bethesda to release it as its own standalone product. The campaign, topping out at about 6 hours, makes it longer than your average COD or Battlefield campaign, and it was released at a $20 price point, so I like to think of it as a budget-friendly introduction to Machine Games' Wolfenstein franchise. It's also a direct prequel to the New Order, with the final cutscene, and without spoilers, ending with the plane taking off. The same plane that you start off in the New Order. It's sort of like how Rogue One ended with the Death Star plans handed to Leia, literally moments before A New Hope is supposed to begin. Damn it, I should have done a Star Wars game. I saw The Last Jedi last night and it was, without hyperbole or spoilers, a good film. Which I can say at the time of recording, even though I haven't seen it yet. That's called a time jump. Scheduling nonsense. I am a time lord. Where was I? Oh, right. So, The Old Blood has Nazi zombies. And besides that, plays exactly like the New Order. Only a little bit worse? Not bad, per se. But the time they had really shows itself when you compare it against the excellent New Order, which didn't have Nazi zombies. But it did have Frau Engel. This game doesn't have Frau Engel, or Death's Head. Only a few intimidating yet ultimately forgettable villains. If it seems like I'm down on this game, I'm really not. I enjoyed it for what it was, more Wolfenstein. But I can't help but feel, especially in a post-New Colossus world, that this was a statement piece by Machine Games. As if to say, listen bud, you remember Wolfenstein, right? Yeah, Nazi zombies, castle, the whole deal. Well, look how it stacks up now. It's not great. So let us do our thing, and it'll be way better. And you know what? The world mostly agreed with that statement. The reinvented Machine Games Wolfenstein, with its narrative and introspective focus on what it means to fight, and the losses you will suffer, make a much more compelling game than just a Nazi zombie shoot-a-thon. I mean, just to compare, to drive a point home, there's a famous sequence near the beginning of the New Order, where you have to choose between the death of an old ally or the death of a young private. It's a powerful scene, and one that changes elements for the entire game that follows. It's good stuff. In The Old Blood, at one point you're faced with a similar decision, but it's obscured by a gameplay action to the point that I can't remember what I actually did to doom one of those characters. And it doesn't change a damn thing after the fact. But despite the shortcomings, Wolfenstein The Old Blood is still an enjoyable game in its own right. The guns still feel great, and the 2 bits of pipe are way more satisfying than the knife from the New Order. And it's pretty great to have a classic double-barreled shotgun again. There's something primarily satisfying about blasting away the undead with 2 loaded barrels. There's also a section where you get to pilot a mechanized suit of armor, and then the zombies are literally just sacks of blood mist. It's great, it's fun. Look, I don't actually have much to say about The Old Blood. It's an enjoyable FPS that runs at 60 FPS, and it's more Wolfenstein at a discounted price. You'll have to decide for yourself whether that's worth it to buy it on sale. I mean, it should be. because the loop of sneak, stab, alarm, gunfight, escape is just as entertaining here as it was in the New Order. I only wish there were more cutscenes showing off BJ in all his shirtless glory. You play most of the game with a shirtless BJ, it's very pulpy. Also, the end credits song by Mick Gordon and Tex Perkins, The Partisan, which is based on an old French folk song which I believe stems from the First World War, is just freaking unbelievably heavy. In fact, I'm gonna let it play out this video and hopefully it won't get claimed. Fair use. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And that'll just about wrap up this episode of Escape from Mount Backlog, another short one. Next week we'll do something completely different. Don't forget to like this video, share it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell icon so you get notified when I upload more videos every Friday. I've been taking a break from Wednesday videos for December, just because it's really hard to get people together to actually play a game. And that's it. Bye. Then we'll come from